Everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoterica and our long-running series, the Unported Playlist, where I take a look at some of my favorite unported arcade games of all time. And today we have an absolute hit for you that you've probably never heard of before, Puzzle Uo Poko. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And it is made by Cave. Yes, the same developers that make the bullet hell shmups. And this was made by the lead designer of Don Pachi. If you can't tell already, it's a very similar game to Puzzle Bobble, but the mechanics in this game are absolutely outstanding, and it is highly addictive. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and that notification bell definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. The cat's a member, are you? But honestly, Puzzle Uo Poko is an extremely simple game to understand and a completely complex game to master. This game has so many different mechanics that it's constantly changing up. This is the type of game that you're going to sit down and think you're going to play for 20 minutes, and then you're going to actually find out that 3 hours have gone by. You'll see at the beginning stages you do get this little dot trail to indicate where you're dropping the ball in the game, but that is very quickly going to disappear, and trust me, you can get yourself in trouble in this game and totally have to rush around. But as simple as it is to pick up and play, this game is highly addictive. If you don't have an hour or two to play video games, don't turn this game on because you're going to lose some of your day to it. You'll see already by the third stage, we're already getting a new mechanic. You have to hard drop those glass balls onto the glass squares to break them. If they don't make good contact, they're not going to break, and you can't get the color to match the where you need it to be. And like I said, it's going to keep giving you new and new mechanics. Like every 5 to 10 stages, you're going to see something completely new and different that you didn't see before. And that's why I love this game so much. The game that you start playing at the beginning is not the game you're playing towards the end. And that is what you want in a puzzle arcade game. And I'm hoping this does decent views because I keep trying to talk about puzzle arcade games. The people that are fans love them. The people that aren't never watch. But leave me a comment down below and tell me, do you enjoy these type of puzzle games? Because I absolutely love them and I want more people to play them. But it is so much fun to see a developer like Cave visit a different genre, because 99 out of 100 times you hear the word cave and you think arcade, you think of bullet hell shmups. You do not think about a game that has a cute cartoon cat that's dancing around trying to knock different color orbs off the screen. And you'll see there that if you play this game well and you plan and strategize, you can get rid of 2/3 of the board with one single play. Now if you make a mistake and get things in the wrong spot, you can 100% screw yourself over and end up losing. You can never rest when you're playing Puzzle Uo Poko. You constantly need to be thinking another move ahead, because you can really put one orb in the wrong place and take a good match down to a terrible match. Or there are situations like this where you need to be able to control that glass orb drop perfectly to shatter that glass, and it was just giving me hell right now. But I will say, the art is simple in this game, but I do love it. It's colorful, it's vibrant. That cat is exactly what you want out of an arcade cartoon cat. And every so many stages you go down further in depth in this submarine and things just start getting harder. You're going to see that more colors are going to appear, or these sort of like crystalline orbs there. You'll see in just a moment what you need to do, but when you first encounter them, you're not quite sure yet. Only upon breaking 3 of the same color orb next to them will that crystalline sort of structure turn smooth and become an orb you can actually use for your gameplay. That's what I mean when I say you constantly have to be thinking ahead. We're not just trying to get rid of the orbs, we're trying to activate some of the other orbs. You will see there's a submarine there and it says attack, and if we can hit that just right, it's going to knock some of the board out, but in this instance we totally missed. Now as far as the soundtrack is concerned, it does change ever so slightly between stages, but just like Puzzle Bobble, it's an earworm. You're going to be humming this all day, but trust me, it is worth it. So go ahead and listen, I will be right back. Enjoy! when things get towards the end, that music just gets intense, and if you fail around, the cat drowns and starts to float to the top of the stage because he has died. It's just not something you really want to see. You don't want to drown a cat. It has that same anxiety-inducing feel that Sonic the Hedgehog does when you're underwater. But now that we moved on here, you'll see that just like in Puzzle Bobble, some stages are just straightforward, knock the crystals out, and some stages play way more like puzzles, because all we need to do is open up the right hand side of the screen so we can get down to the yellow orbs. But we need to get the right color orbs, and we need to be able to knock them out in the right cadence, or else we're never going to open up that area there, because we need to shatter that square glass. And now we had to do it with a red orb, so now we have to start burning off different colors until we can finally get to that yellow. And that's what I mean when I say asset management is a huge part of this game. If you make mistakes, if you don't play it right, you get into a situation like this where we're basically going to start knocking things out at the last possible second. We are down to the wire, but that's what's so much fun when you get so close to losing and you finally get the right color and you're able to knock the entire board out in one shot. It feels like a straight up accomplishment. And honestly, it feels like a straight up accomplishment in the same way that when you get good at a cave bullet hell shmup, you feel like you finally got the game's number. It's really interesting that Cave went to the puzzle genre with a sort of take on Puzzle Bobble, but they did an absolutely spectacular job making it, and maybe the fact that they really knew how to make engaging, addictive games helped them in the long run, because Puzzle Uo Poko has the same sort of addicting vibe as a bullet hell game does. And you'll see here, bombs are now starting to appear. All we have to do is get one exposed and hit it, and it's going to blow up the entire playfield, just leaving a few orbs behind. And that's what I love about this game so much. I love Puzzle Bobble. It's a spectacular game, but the first game doesn't change anything up really that fundamentally. The game you play at the start is the game you play at the finish. It just gets harder. Where Puzzle Uo Poko constantly gives you new mechanics and changes things up so that you feel like you're constantly trying to learn something new. Because you'll already see, compared to the beginning of the game, we have a ton of different colors, a ton of different patterns, a ton of different mechanics, and you need to learn all of them and start to master them, because towards the later part of the game, they're going to throw stages at you that require every single thing you learned the entire way through the game. And that's what you want in a puzzle game. You want it to be teaching you something new, you want it to be constantly challenging you, and you want to be able to take everything you've learned and employ it later on so that you can actually see the ending of this game, because the later stages become almost impossible, not in a bad way, in a hyper challenging way. And you'll see here, I am getting myself in a really bad position, and unfortunately that cat is going to drown again. And poor guy just keeps drowning, and that's because I'm not doing the right things. And I don't think he has a name, but he looks like a Steve to me, so it's going to be Steve the cat from now on. But leave me a comment down below and tell me what you would have named him. I just think he looks like a Steve. I don't know why, but that's what I'm going with. But again, if you like puzzle arcade games and you've never played this game before, I highly suggest you download it and try it out, but I'm warning you, you're going to lose hours to it. Don't start playing this game if you don't have free time, because you're probably going to ignore everything else going on around you and just play it for 2 hours straight. Because normally with these captures, when I need 10 minutes worth of footage, I play about 35 minutes of the game, and I will say that I played this for over 2 hours. Even I lost track of what was going on. You'll see there that we were able to turn all those orbs a different color, and we knocked about 80% of the entire playfield away with one shot. Now, this is definitely a take on Puzzle Bobble, and for me, Puzzle Bobble has the vibe I like ever so slightly more, but if I was inclined to say what's mechanically the more interesting game, I might actually give the edge to Puzzle Uo Poko. That's how good it is, and it's so much fun to see Cave make a different genre of game. Now, like I said, it's a simple game. You'll understand everything going on in 5 minutes, but if you want to see the ending, get prepared to get good at this game, because it's going to take almost sheer perfection to be able to see the credits of it. And I hope this video does well, because there's more puzzle arcade games out there that I would love to talk about. Sometimes they do really well, sometimes they fall flat on their face. I get it, it's not a genre for everyone, but it's so much fun to see Cave take on a different type of game, and that cat down there is just so happy until he drowns. And I feel really bad for him, because every time he drowns it's because you screwed up. His death is on your hands, and that's kind of how I'm going to close the video out. If you make a mistake, you killed a cat, and it's your fault. Short of that, I'll be back next Monday with an episode of the Unported playlist. I'll have videos throughout the week as well. But if you're looking for a Puzzle Bobble style game that you've never played before, play Puzzle Uo Poko. Just try to not kill Steve too many times. See you guys next time. Bye bye.